Hi guys, welcome to Words with Wista. Words with Wista is my not so personal diary where I talk pop culture, politics, internet chaos, money messes, and whatever is living rent free in my head. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's messy, sometimes it's serious, but either way, you are hearing my thoughts out loud. If you're part of the Wista game, part of the Wista crew, part of the Wista posse, just know I missed you and welcome back. If you are a new listener, as in the words of Pop Smoke, welcome to the party. You guys, I know you're about to be on me. Wista, you were supposed to put out an episode. You didn't put out no episode in June. Let me just say this. I go through little streams of like small little spurts of depression, right? Sometimes it's like, okay, there's a lot going on. I need to just focus on this before I can go record an episode, right? Especially for the fact that I think I have to remind a lot of people too when it comes to the aspect of content creation, or even when you have a platform somehow, some way, you got to make sure everything is good in the other side of your life before you go in, right? Especially if like you're not monetizing or really making much from content, right? That's why I always tell people when you decide to like go and delve into content creation, don't quit your day job. Don't quit your day job. Still have other hobbies. Still be interested in other things. I can say for last month, there was a lot going on. We know that the job market definitely has its topsy-turvy ways. And girl, when I tell you guys, the amount of shit I went through when it comes to the job market and these interviews, I'll have to tell you guys in like 6 months because you guys know me. Life updates, you guys really don't get the real life update until 6 months after it happens. But a lot of twists and turns, but also a lot of times to like think about, okay, this is what I want to do next. This is what I want to do. I'm not gonna lie, there are some times I did want to record, but mentally I was just not in that place to even press play on the mic just because I was like, wait, I need to get a few things in hand. And my schedule was changing so much to the point where I had to go do this and help a family member with that or do this and that. So if my routine is fucked up, that's how it is. If my routine is not up to par, I need to get to the point where the routine is all together or try to find ways to maneuver through it. And that is what I'm learning through, right? But still, when it comes to the aspect of content creating, especially as somebody who has 200 something episodes, I always remind people you can always go back and listen to old episodes because a lot of the things I'm about to talk on this show have been things I predicted. One thing I just want to say though, thank you for everybody who reached out to me, making sure that I was good. For like, I truly am grateful for that. I think at a certain point, like early in the podcast, I used to talk about how I was the friend who always checked up on people and nobody checked up on me. But some of you listeners actually did check in and be like, hey, where's the episode? Then I have to realize, and I think this is where for us smaller creators or even us who are still like building our following or building our community, we have to realize that the current folks who are part of your community or those who have been listening in the bushes, because I know some of y'all be listening to the bushes. I know some of you guys be secretly listening. It's okay. It's okay to say that you admire me. I'm a good role model. I know that. It's okay. You see it in me. But I always have to remind myself that there are people who look forward to hearing the show, right? Every Friday, they look forward to hearing me talk about like politics. I know some of you guys don't like the politics portion, but you guys are like, you know what? You keep us informed. So I have to remind myself that, yeah, I might be going through something, but there's somebody else who's like, girl, you're the person who's keeping me going, even though shit is falling down the fan. So I have to keep reminding myself that, just because you're still a small creator doesn't mean there's not somebody listening. And I think that's the thing that could be discouraging at times. And this is why I tell people, like, don't think about the numbers. It's all about who's listening. Because I can tell you right now, the people that I've met through this show, and you would think like, dang, you got people in big places listening to you. But it's like, oh, damn, like I didn't know that. Even when I find out there are some people in the industry that be listening to this. Some of your fans be listening to the show. Y'all could let me make a guest appearance. But yes, you guys, there's a lot of changes coming onto the show. I definitely am working on getting my consistency. June was just a very weird month. Gemini season, any single time Gemini season happens, it's a topsy-turvy, twisty world. So we're going to make it through it. I'm getting better at this consistency. I just feel like sometimes if I take a month off, you just know it's either something popping off in my life. But I will say this when it comes to this job market, specifically for us folks who are in corporate or even when it comes to those who had just graduated from school and everything like that, it can be tough. It's crazy how I got friends who got laid off and they can't even get a retail job. That is crazy. That is freaking crazy. They can't even get a call center job. So I can say for sure with these elections coming up and everything, we're going to start seeing a shift when it comes to these companies and the hiring process, which we're already seeing right now. You know what? Let's just go straight to the politics portion, because I know somebody's to be like, oh, Wista, you took a month out, but you don't want to tell us anything else? Oh, let's see. I've been eating better, losing more weight. The waist is getting slimmer and the ass is getting fatter. Okay, thank you. That's grown woman curves. Just before I bring this, because I know there's a lot of women that listen to the show. To the men that listen to this, whatever. It is what it is. Enjoy the conversation if you want to. Put to the grown women, because I know I have an audience of women who are in their 50s and 60s, which I'm shocked sometimes. Hi, but tell me about grown women curves, because you guys, let me tell you something embarrassing that happened. Not me getting all emotional and telling you guys this. So I went to a very nice jeans store. And, I splurged on some jeans. I got some men's jeans. I see the thing is $32.30. I'm like, okay, well, when it comes to jeans for women's, I wear like a 30, 31, because of the hips and everything, the butt. So I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be the same. 100% cotton. Why did I get home? I put those jeans on. It went through midway to my thigh. Couldn't even get up my butt. And I'm just thinking to myself damn, I got another pair of jeans from this company that are men's jeans, just because I like the look of the baggy look for men's jeans. And I put it on. I said, wow, it don't even go through my butt. And I was like, if I had on OnlyFans and I went to go take a picture like this with the booty just poking out a little bit, crunched up on the jeans out a little bit, drooping out a little, I would have made so much money. But I said, you know what? Let me reserve this for the man that's meant for me. Now, what did I do with those jeans? I gave those things to my cousin. I said, these shit don't fit me. I was like, what size you wear? He said 32-30. And I'm looking at him, I'm looking at me. I'm like, damn. So a 32 for men's is different than 32 for women's. Because I have to realize, and I forgot, I was like, wait, yes, there are men who have hips. But stereotypically, when it comes to fashion, you guys are just more straight lined, narrow. But yeah, damn, man. So that's the struggle y'all men with hips got to deal with. That's crazy. If y'all don't go to the women's section and get you something nice and stretchy with some spandex, but still, you guys, that was so embarrassing. But I told myself, you know what? If I took this picture and dropped this on OnlyFans, I'd be making some money. But I won't do that. No, but shout out to my OnlyFans girls and guys. Do your thing. Now, we can finally move into the politics portion. So June, there's a lot going on when it comes to politics. So just know I might be a little bit all over the place just because I have a line of topics and we got to get this together. And also too, happy July to you guys. I know we have 5 months left into the new year. Just know you can achieve your goals and a lot of things can happen within a week, a day, a month. So please remember that. Now, let's talk about all things politics. The first thing is, and I know I didn't do my whole spiel, but the Trump administration is always fucking something up every week. The fact that Trump felt the need to involve himself in sports throughout the month of June, we know that June, the Knicks won the NBA championship. Shout out to New York. Big New York. Yes, I love it. Although I'm a Celtics fan, I was very much proud of you guys. So yeah, shout out to New York Knicks. It's the fact that Donald Trump felt the need to put himself and insert himself into all those things. It's the fact you went to that game, you brought them bad juju because San Antonio won that freaking game. And then now you're getting involved with the World Cup. And one thing I could say for sure is, and I'll talk about it more when we talk about the World Cup later, but I really do think that they're going to rig the World Cup a little bit just because I don't know if you guys know, but Donald Trump will be giving out the World Cup champion when whoever wins during the final games. So I just want to say is whoever wins that, I would not want to be the team to win. I get it's a very important thing for the World Cup, but I just would not want to win with this man as president. Let me wait until the next president happens. But then again, too, we don't know where the next World Cup will be. I know it's not going to be in the U.S., but regardless of where it is, I would rather wait for the next one just so I don't have to deal with that. But I get it. It's important. It's a very important game. It's very important for soccer fans like myself, but still. I don't know why that man's involved. FIFA, you guys are doing too much trying to get involved with this man, but still, it is what it is. Now, Let's also talk about the UFC match that they had at the White House. That was the most dustiest, ratchet, disgusting ass situation that happened at the freaking White House. Disturbed and disgusted. And I don't know if you guys know, way back, they actually did have those type of like activations at the White House. So a lot of people thought about like, okay, they used to do this in the White House, but it's like, this is not classy at all. You guys had Dana White and all these damn freaking UFC fighters fighting in the White House. And I get it, it's the 250 years of America, but this is how you guys want to celebrate it, with sports and just that. Why don't you guys talk about the history of the country? Why don't we talk about, okay, it's been 250 years, but why haven't Black Americans still not gotten their reparations that they truly deserve? Why are they not getting their props for doing so many things for this damn fucking country? Thank you. Like, hello. What? Make it make sense. We're out here doing this freaking cockeyed UFC fight, this and that, but you guys are not addressing the situations going on to this country. We're not talking about the history, because the history of this fucking country makes y'all very fucking uncomfortable, and I said it. Now, this UFC fight, you had these big burly men. I know they stink, especially the one who was talking shit about Michelle Obama. One thing I could say for sure is Obama has not been in office for what? 10 plus years. And you guys are still talking about this man. You guys are still talking about this man's wife. You guys are still trying to say, oh, his wife is allegedly a man. Girl, the people who love to talk about Michelle Obama and her gender, when I see y'all partners, I be questioning your partner's gender. I be questioning what y'all like. Even when it comes to like some of these newscasters that love to talk about her and try to question her gender, even some of these women, and Megyn Kelly, I'm gonna come for you too, bitch. What? This is why whenever I like hear certain people talk about certain things, I just change the channel. But it's the fact that you guys try to make it a whole spectacle and try to say, oh yeah, this is gonna be the best thing ever. Girl, it was freaking ratchet as hell. It was fucking ghetto as fuck. And it looked like it stunk. It really was the fact that you guys basically had these white players go against these black players. And I was disappointed of all the black fighters. I was like, why are you in this caca? But then again, too, not all skin folk is kinfolk. But still, what the hell is wrong with you guys? Now, since we are done talking about this whole sports situation, let's talk about the fact that Donald Trump's income has increased by $2 billion since he's been back in office, and it keeps on rising. And everyone's questioning this. Let's not forget, he's had lawsuits where he sued certain corporations and he's been able to win. Let's not forget the lawsuit he has against the IRS. Let's not forget some of the other things involved. I don't know if you guys know too, is he just took out a loan and received, I think, like what, $60 million from Charles Schwab. That just actually Charles Schwab went to go visit him at the freaking White House. So there's a lot of scamming going on. And the thing is, I'm thinking to myself is, you are going through a situation where you don't want people to get SNAP benefits. You want people to go above and beyond when it comes to the aspect of SNAP benefits. I don't know if you guys know too, is the freaking student loans and everything like that is being moved to the Department of Treasury. So now we're talking about the aspect of people having to pay back their student loans, and you guys are going to put higher interest. But then for the students who want to go to school through FAFSA, you guys have a specific limit when it comes to non-professional degrees and then professional degrees. And let's not forget too, is you guys change the terms of what a professional degree is and what is not a professional degree. The fact that you guys said that nursing is not a professional degree is freaking crazy, or even with other aspects to it. So it's definitely interesting to see how that's going to play out. And it's the fact that he's trying to put in and implement all these laws before these midterm elections, because let's be real, it's about to be a blue sweep. If you're telling me there are places in these red states where they are actively going and voting for Democratic progressives, or what you guys would like to call socialists, and because y'all pissed off about the progressive and the socialists, shout out to them. I love me progressive and the socialists. Look what Zohran's doing, and y'all are mad that they are winning these elections. That is telling you a lot, that the people are fed up and tired. Everyone's tired, okay? People are tired for the fact that when it comes to these job applications, they are overly qualified, or they are qualified and they can't even get a freaking call back just due by their fucking race. Another thing is, people are tired of going to the grocery store and having to see, dang, you can't even get certain foods because it's so high priced that you have to think of, damn, this amount of like groceries is how much you make per hour. Not only that, you got people not even going out or even engaging in certain activities when it comes to outings or even trying to find ways to get to work because of fucking gas prices, you guys. What the heck is going on? But this man is making $2 billion a day, and he's been scamming his freaking audience, which as he should. I'm glad he's scamming y'all MAGAs. I'm glad he's doing that because he already told you guys in your face what he was gonna do, and he's doing it. That's why I say, MAGA, y'all are gluttons of punishment. That's what you guys are. You guys are gluttons for punishment. It's the fact that y'all bought those nasty ass, bum ass freaking Supra bootleg sneakers that he sold to you guys at those gold sneakers. You guys remember the brand Supra, that skateboard brand? And Terry Kennedy was involved with it, the black skateboarder. Yeah, go look up Supras. You guys cannot tell me that his sneakers don't look like Supras. Now, with that, then you got the Trump phone. And let's be real, y'all talking about shit about China, but where's the phone coming from? China. It's a Chinese brand, like the Trump phone. Think about it, please. And then even with the aspect of you guys going to the state fair that he's having for the freaking 250 years of America, and nobody showed up. Who wants to go to that shit? It's hot as fuck outside. Are you guys trying to find ways to make sure that people are staying cool? Like, what the hell? Like, this is freaking crazy. Once again, this is what y'all get. This is what you guys get for not voting for Kamala. This is what you guys get. And now I'm going to kind of like mix in like international news a little bit with like USA news, just because I am watching CNN while I record this, and I forgot to put this in my topics. But I don't know if you guys know, but there was a big earthquake in Venezuela. And really hope the best for those people, because let's not forget, like, a lot has happened with Venezuelans, even when Trump got rid of Maduro, and then even with the aspect of their land being attacked, they just had a big earthquake. As somebody who lived through the Haitian earthquake, I'm not gonna lie, watching the footage from that earthquake kind of gave me flashbacks of when Haiti had its big earthquake, and still to this day, and I bring it up all the time, I still have like some PTSD from the earthquake. So that's why when I lived in California, I was like, bitch, what the fuck was I thinking? Because when we had that first earthquake, man, I had to go run and hide. I was like, oh no. But you can go listen to some older episodes where I talked about like living through that earthquake, and especially being somebody who comes from the higher upper class society, especially in Haiti, and seeing the differences of class when it comes to the earthquake and everything. We'll talk about that another time. You guys already know how I grew up and everything like that. Y'all could be like, oh, spoiled black girl. I don't care. I'm proud of being a black girl from the suburbs. You guys can never make me ashamed of it. Shout out to my black girls from the suburbs. But still, definitely put some prayers out there for the folks in Venezuela. But now let's move on to this whole TPS situation. We know that the Supreme Court has agreed that Trump can end TPS for Haitians and Syrians. We talked about TPS a couple times on this show, even when it was at verge of being at risk the last time that Trump brought it up. But right now, it's definitely gotten a lot of like in the hot seat in the news, just because we know during the election time when Trump was running against Kamala, he was basically saying that the Haitians were eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, they're doing this and that. When really we found out that in Springfield, Ohio, the Haitians were actually building the economy there. They were helping build out the economy there so much to the point where the governor of Ohio, guys, a Republican man, was pleading and begging to keep the Haitians in Ohio. So I don't know what you guys are talking about right now. So when it comes to TPS, it is a temporary protective status, right? Basically, Haiti's going through a lot when it comes to the aspect of gangs and violence with barbecue. Once again, hold on, because you guys know I'm connected when it comes to Haitian politics. Shelly, don't put me in this. I'm just reporting the news. I don't want none of you guys in this Haitian political world to come after me. Hey, report that news about report, okay? Thank you. Barbecue, once again, I don't understand when it comes to the FBI. Barbecue be posting videos, him dancing to Tupac, wearing Timbs and everything. And y'all can't pull his IP address from Haiti. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. I don't know. This is why there's a conspiracy. The fact that America, y'all involved with the downfall of Haiti. You guys can convince me anything. There's too many things that involves when it comes to this country. And then even France, to the point where when I tell my friends about this, they're like, damn, it really is like that. Go do your research. Now, I totally understand that TPS is temporary status. As somebody who grew up with immigrant parents, and I can say this personally from my family, everyone has come into this country legally, okay? That's the first thing. legally. But I do know some people who have family members who are on TPS. I do know some of my parents who talk about like for example, some of the cleaning staff we had in our house. Their kids came to the States through TPS, right? So you have the Biden program and you can sponsor somebody to come to the United States to do like 2 years to work, and you could extend it because obviously you have to reapply to extend it or get to the process of trying to get a visa or a green card, right? Okay, now I remember when they were sponsoring people, my mom was like, "Oh, do you want to sponsor one of our housekeepers' kids, something like that? Help them get a better life." Something told me, "Girl, don't do it." One thing about me is I always trust my gut, because something told me something's about to pop off to the point where I won't be surprised if you sponsor somebody for TPS. I won't be surprised if they come after you. I won't be surprised. But I do know a couple people who did come through TPS and they did the best that worked out for them, right? They decided to go to school. They got their working papers. They're paying their taxes. A myth I want to debunk is if you're on TPS, you cannot vote. You cannot vote, because I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, they were voting the election. They were voting for Kamala." They can't vote, you guys. They cannot vote. The only thing they can do is add to the economy and pay taxes. Just like how we are paying taxes, they're paying taxes too. They have limitations that we don't have. That's the first thing with that, right? Now, a lot of them are trying to say that, oh, the people from TBS, they just crossed the border from Haiti. They just like got to Miami. That's not how it works out, right? And one thing I could say too is Haitians be migrating, okay? One thing about us Haitians, they be migrating. When I tell you guys, I got family in Brazil, I got family in Chile, I got family in France, I got family in the UK, I got family in Canada. Now, majority of the time where, let's say, for example, they leave Haiti, they'll go to the DR, right? Shout out to my Dominican cousins. You guys know I got a Dominican grandma. But if they decide to not go to the DR, they'll risk their lives and take a boat and go to Chile, which they can stay there and learn some Spanish and still assimilate within that society, or they can go to Brazil. I don't know if you guys know that Haiti and Brazil actually has very good race relations when it comes to overall, like, they're locked in like this. They are locked in. So a lot of Haitians do live in Brazil as well. I have family members in Brazil. If I want to go to Brazil, I can go there if I want to, right? But then also too is there's a growing Haitian community in Mexico. You might know about there's a growing Haitian community in Mexico because guess what? Just like how we talk about folks from that community crossing the border to give themselves a better life in America, Haitians do the same thing too, right? Okay, boom. Now, when it comes to overall when it comes to TPS, what I've noticed by people when I've heard stories, once the temporary status is removed, a lot of people will either they'll go back to Haiti, or they'll go to Brazil, or they'll go to Mexico, or they'll go to Canada. The option I always tell people, go to Canada. Canada, free healthcare, everything like that. Everything will work out. You'll help boost the economy. And you can go to Montreal. You go to Montreal, you speak French, all that, you're set and good to go, right? Some folks might want to stay in the States just because they're family members. But the thing is, I just don't like the xenophobia I'm seeing from other people within the diaspora, or even people who are from those same recipients of TPS of other races talking. How you gonna tell Haitians to go back to Haiti? But bitch, you want TPS too. They about to send your ass too. The thing is, they starting with the black countries and the Middle Eastern countries. What makes you think you're not gonna be next? We saw what happened when it came to these other situations with immigration. Like, please. Now, when it comes to the xenophobia I'm seeing within the black diaspora, am I surprised? No. There's xenophobia in every sector of the diaspora towards every community in the diaspora. I've seen so many TikToks of people saying, oh, the Haitians were sent to America because of voodoo, because they would have to put spells on us to keep us under this. If you were saying some stupid shit like that, I had to block you. There are some Haitians saying, oh, you need to go back to Haiti. We need to go rebuild Haiti. The aspect of us rebuilding Haiti, first things first, if we're going to bring astrology into it, Haiti is ruled by Saturn. Haiti is a Capricorn in so many ways. So I don't know what you guys are talking about. If you really want to think about it, the only way we'll be able to rebuild Haiti is once the higher powers of certain countries stop getting involved. And I know you guys are celebrating for the fact that certain people from certain communities in Haiti got arrested. That doesn't mean anything. They still have the power when it comes to certain situations. So until that is settled and done, then we can talk about it. But it's the xenophobia for me, seeing certain people say, oh yeah, y'all need to go back. But I'm thinking to myself is, girl, They're doing the same thing to folks in other sectors, the diaspora. I'm seeing folks who are Nigerian say, oh, you guys need to go back to Haiti. Girl, you think they're not going to tell you need to go back to Lagos? Make it make sense. Like, I just don't support xenophobia just in general, regardless what group within the diaspora you're talking about. If this was a situation regarding people who are from, I don't know, this country just popped in my head. Like, for example, like Kenya, because Kenya did a whole situation where they're letting anybody from the African diaspora to come in and be allowed, but except for Haitians. The thing is, if you guys were talking about Kenyans, I would have blocked y'all. If you guys were talking about Jamaicans, I would have blocked y'all. If you guys were being xenophobic to Black Americans, I would have blocked y'all. Just because I don't support that. I don't support anything when it comes to xenophobia, just because it just further puts on the white supremacy and those tactics that they do to separate us from apart, right? Now, let me address motherfucking Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly, you got on that damn fucking bum ass show that you got with SiriusXM. And I know SiriusXM has like various different sectors. I actually almost worked at SiriusXM. But hey, I guess things work out the way it's supposed to. Maybe in the future it might be an opportunity. But it's the fact you got on that camera with your side ponytail looking dry and crunchy as fuck on the freaking claw clip. Face looking very strong. And the first thing I want to say is you're homophobic, racist, transphobic ass. It's the fact you love to talk about a certain community in the LGBTQIAA plus community. And it's the fact that you like to say things about that sector of women and saying that they don't look feminine enough to get away with their transition. When I saw you on that video, honestly, I could name a bunch of T-girlies that look like they were natural born than you. I could name a list of T-girlies right now that look more feminine than you, bitch. Your face looks strong, and I get it. I fully understand. I get it. You probably weren't the baddest bitch at Fox News. I get it. You weren't the baddie at Fox News. I don't think a lot of the Murdoch brothers that really wanted to touch on you. I don't think so. I don't think they really was trying to fuck on you. I get it. You had your little moment on Fox News, but I don't think they really wanted to mess with you like that. You wasn't the prettiest girl on there. The real prettiest woman that has been on Fox News was Ebony K. Williams. Okay, a beautiful Black woman. That was the baddest chick on Fox News. And she put y'all in your place. But Megyn Kelly, for you to say, you guys need to go back to fucking Haiti. We built this land. Bitch, you did not fucking build this land. Your ancestors did not build this land. You know who built this land? The ancestors are Black Americans. That's the first thing. If you really think about it, you need to go back too. And even when it comes to this whole situation too with birthright citizenship, and I'm seeing a lot of people talk about these situations, your president, his family's not even from this country. They're not. His grandparents are from Germany. Like sit down and go sit somewhere. It's the fact you want to say all this, but then you look a hot mess on camera. Still to this day, I would not forgive NBC for giving Megyn Kelly that time slot that was for Al Roker, Tamron Hall, and that other Black journalist. I forgot her name, but beautiful, beautiful Black woman. Her husband sadly passed away from brain cancer. They had their own time slot. And it was a very monumental moment to see 3 Black journalists hosting a daytime TV show on a national network. And you guys decided to end that show and give Megyn Kelly that time slot. And guess what? The views went down and then that show ended because of the problematic things that she said and the fact that you guys knew what you guys were getting your butts into. So once again, too, I don't take anything Megyn Kelly says seriously, but girl, that rant you went on, that racist ass xenophobic rant, like sit down, please. You don't even look natural born if you really think about it. So I don't know why your racist, homophobic, transphobic ass even got something to say, because I really forgot you existed. And honestly, girl, just say you're mad because people are watching Candace Owen over your ass, okay? And I ain't fuck with Candace, but people are watching Candace over your ass. So good luck, girl. Good luck. Good freaking luck. Now let's move on to some more other news. I think it's going to be like a mixture just because we are talking about like the whole situation with the Haitians and everything like that. I do want to talk about the elections that we just had in New York for the primaries and the big drama with that. And yes, my Dominicans, oh my God, my hermanas, my primos, my primas. Oh my God, what the hell are we doing? My hermanos, hermanas. My other half, bro. My other people. What the heck? So I don't know if you guys know, there was a big primary election. It was against a Democrat who was sponsored by Zohran and another Democrat who isn't sponsored by Zohran. Kind of think about like Zohran versus Mario Cuomo. Basically that situation. It got to the point where there's a lot of xenophobia. We know the whole race relations and the complex relations between Haitian Dominicans, obviously. But one of the candidates, her last name is Chevalier, right? Chevalier is obviously a French last name. I know a couple Chevaliers, and still, it's a French last name. I'm not surprised she has that last name. Obviously, she could be of Haitian descent. Not surprised, because guess what? Same island, same people, different languages, right? Just like how I talk about the fact that, yes, I have Dominican family members. Okay, boom, make it make sense now. It's making sense. So for that, the other candidate, which still his last name sounds very much French to me, but hey, what can I say? I can't debate the whole situation. He was like, oh no, her last name's this, she's Haitian, she's not Dominican. And it would just got to the point where with this election, and especially for the folk that they're both Dominican, it's the fact that they use the aspect of being Haitian as if it was something bad to get votes. And it got to the point where when the elections happened and they were having speeches, Zohran had to literally get on the mic and let it be known that he condemns the anti-Haitian bigotry. Like, he does not support that. Like, he's like, why are we bringing this up? This doesn't make sense. It's like, what the heck? He said that he supports the Haitian community. So I'm just thinking to myself is, you know what, you guys, it is what it is. But Miss Chevalier did win her primary. And guess what? She was sponsored by Zohran. We're seeing that a lot of these Democrats that are winning are super progressives or they are socialists. Now, my question is, for the moderate Democrat, this is a sign that we are shifting away from being moderate and being more progressive. That goes to show you that, hey, maybe it is time for the change, and it's time to let the newer generation be the face of this party, right? Bernie Sanders walked so an AOC can prosper, but for a Zohran Mamdani to begin the race when it comes to this new generation of Democrats, right? And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. That's why I'm thinking to myself is like the older Democrats are like, oh, we can't do this. But it's like Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, when you guys were just getting into your industries, when you guys were just getting into politics, I'm pretty sure the older Democrats were just not liking what you guys are bringing in. And you guys are acting like them right now. So just accept it and just realize that there's a lot of change going on. And also when it comes to like Graham Plattner in Maine and his whole situation with his allegations and everything like that, if you're telling me that this president has to pay an alleged SA victim $5 million, Graham Plattner about to win this damn freaking election in freaking Maine, if that's the situation. Because y'all hypocrites if y'all letting this man become the president and he has all these allegations, but y'all not letting this man win. And he has some allegations as well too. I'm just saying, if we're thinking about it logically, like that way, like please, I'm just being honest. But one thing I just want to say, and this is for everybody who's Haitian right now, and this is the spiritual side of me. If you are Haitian, I want you to go put a ward on your name. If you are Haitian living in the U.S. or even Haitian American, I want you to go put, around the world, because everybody's talking about this shit. I want you to go put on a ward on your name. Just say any single time my name is mentioned, my culture is mentioned, I want to make a boatload of money, 10 times fold, never ending, everlasting amounts for the good and none for the harm, and the harm of no one. I don't know. I'm just bringing that up. I remember a week before this whole situation happened, I put a ward on my name. And when I tell you, they started talking about these Haitians and everything like that, I've been getting so many blessings. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep putting wards on my name. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if Obama has a ward on his name, or Michelle does too, because like I said, when you put a word in your name, any single time people bring you up, even if it's good or bad, there's always a blessing coming your way. So that's what I got to say about that. But yes, I think there's a big shift happening into the Democratic Party, and we're seeing that, and people are voting, and people are tired and fed up with it. Even for the fact that Kamala Harris had a meeting with Zohran it was a private meeting, and I'm pretty sure she's realizing, oh snap, here's a few things that she needs to do. And let's not forget, when it came to that war and how she sided with a specific group, you see this time with this meeting that she had with Zohran, she decided to bring different leaders in. Because I see what you're trying to do, Kamala. Am I going to support Kamala 2028? I have to see what she's going to bring to the table. That's where I'm at now. When it comes to the next Democratic candidate, I gotta see what you bring to the table, because I'm tired. I'm tired right now. Damn, we are 38 minutes in. I'm still talking about politics, you guys. This is going to be a very long episode, but let me just breeze through this. Now, for the aspect of birthright citizenship, I did bring it up earlier. All I just want to say is, when they announced this, I was like, oh, my friends, so I was like, damn, y'all, I guess I gotta do what Megyn Kelly said, and I take my black ass back to fucking Haiti. But I already had a list of places I want to move to. I was like, okay, I could go to Brazil, I could go to France, I could go to Canada. But then I realized, I was like, oh wait, they're talking about first generation Americans that are just like freshly born, not us OG first generation Americans. My friend was like, Wista, shut up. I'm like, dang, can somebody adopt me? I already had a list of parents, and every my friends' parents. I'm about to be like, can you just adopt me, please? I need to stay in America. So all my first gen Americans, guess what? We get to stay in America. But I'm happy the Supreme Court shut it down, because it's like, hello, some of y'all got immigrant parents. And then I just want to bring this back to this whole TPS situation. Amy Barrett, that one, the young lady with the 2 Haitian adopted kids, something's off about her. I don't know if you guys know, and I've noticed this. When the earthquake happened, there was a bunch of white people who adopted Haitian kids. Jillian Michaels also adopted a Haitian kid. I don't know what's up with y'all MAGA folks and you guys adopting like Haitian kids, or just, I feel like y'all do that on purpose just because of the history of Haiti. So you guys feel like because Haiti did that whole situation, y'all probably adopt them kids and do something crazy to them, like make them go do work and everything. I don't know. I don't trust anything about that, because I just realized it's a trend where some of these people who have adopted Haitian kids, y'all are super MAGA as hell. And I don't know why, but they need to do a case study on that. Now, let's move on to lawsuits. Yes, we need to move on to lawsuits and everything that is going on with these lawsuits. I don't know if you guys know, we did talk about the job market. Well, Workday, which is one of the most prominent job application platforms. So, for example, if you would apply for a job on a company's career sites, it will take you to Workday. You're going to link it to your LinkedIn or make an account, which, bro, you know how many freaking Workday accounts I have made? And I always got to use the same fucking password or something like that, because it's too much. And the thing I can't stand the most is you have your resume. They want you to insert your resume, and they still want you to fill out your fucking resume. I like the companies that just say, put your resume in and call it a day. But Workday is actually going to be going through a class action lawsuit within the state of California, but now they're making it just statewide, like not statewide, but nationwide, just because of how complex it is. And they are being sued for discrimination of race, age, sexuality, and disability. Am I surprised by this? No. I think at a certain point, people were telling me, oh yeah, you can put your black on the resume because they need black people and everything like that. I said, every single time I put my race, I would get a rejection letter automatically sometimes. It got to the point for the past 2 years, I stopped putting my race on my application. Shit, just for the shits and giggles, I'll put white sometimes just to see how quickly it gets through. What I do sometimes is I'll put female, depending on like the type of job it is. If it's like a PR job, I'll put female. If it's not like something that stereotypically society deems as a woman's job, I know that sounds problematic, but I have to say it, then I just won't put any gender. I won't fill out anything. Another thing that's sus for me is when job applications ask about your sexuality. Like, why are you asking that? Why do you need to know? Why do you need to know my sexuality? Like, I've noticed that. Have you guys not noticed how they'll ask about your sexuality, or even if like your parents went to college? I'm like, this is a little too personal. And it started to make me think, but a lot of companies are using AI to maneuver and go through candidates, because obviously with this job market, you can have a job opening and then there's like 600 applicants and having to narrow it down. So it makes sense. But I'm happy that there's a class action lawsuit for Workday, and we'll see how much money we all get back from it. But hey, guys, that's what I gotta say. I think that was the best thing to happen. Yep, sue all these damn freaking job application companies. Also, put LinkedIn in the situation too, because I guess there's a whole situation with Easy Apply, which even when it comes to LinkedIn's Easy Apply, I don't easy apply just because I feel like it just puts you in a section of like the job application status of like, we're not gonna really read this, we're just building this up for the numbers, but we already have like a list of candidates that we want to speak to. That's what I think it is. But yeah, guys, Workday is getting sued and I'm here for it. I'm happy. I can't wait to get my check. Now, let's just get on to like random news before we get into like pop culture. I don't know if you guys know, but there was a gender reveal that happened in California that caused like a major like wildfire. Once again, I'll never understand you guys with the obnoxious ass gender reveals. I'm here for some gender reveals, but once you involve certain situations, it's like, okay, this is a little too much. It got to the point where the wildfire was so crazy. I think a firefighter either got like he passed away or got injured, but still, the father is gonna do some jail time. The mother, I think she's doing jail time or she's just doing some probation, but still, the company that basically created the little like fire situation with the fireworks and even with like some of the items that they use to shoot the colors of the child's gender, they're getting sued because also when it comes to the stipulations of the warning controls within the bottling of the item that they use to display the colors, they didn't include certain situations. So that's why when you hear about a company getting sued, usually, let's say for example, you're at the mall, right? And you're at like a department store, like a Nordstrom, right? Okay, you fall off the escalator. So what you do is you sue Nordstrom. And then let's say, for example, if Nordstrom is in the mall and they don't own that building, you sue the company that owns the building. So let's say, for example, you're suing Nordstrom, but then you're also suing, what is that big company that owns a bunch of malls? I forgot the name of it, but you're suing that conglomerate. But then also too is you're going to sue the company that owns the escalators in addition to that. Because let's say, for example, and I know this happened to somebody. I know somebody who got in a car accident and they were hit by a Verizon car, right? And the first thing I asked him, I was like, hey, who are you suing? He was like, oh yeah, I'm going to sue the car driver and Verizon. I was like, bro, don't even sue the employee. You need to sue Verizon because Verizon is the one that has the money. The car driver, we don't know his financial situation, but if you really want to get something out of it, you're suing Verizon. And guess what he did? He sued Verizon and he made so much from it. So you kind of have to think about it like that. But still, I think it's very interesting to see how this is going to change the landscape when it comes to like gender reveals. I'm going to be honest. I feel like there should be a law, especially in places like California where they're prone to wildfires. If you are having an outdoor event, there needs to be certain licenses or certain things if you are going to be doing things like fireworks or anything involving fire. God forbid something like that happens, because let's not forget, for the past wildfires they've had in the state of California, it's like, please let California rest. Like, give them a break. Like, it is dry. Let them get some water. Let them get some drinks. Because when I think about the fact that like a wildfire and what it does to like the environment, you know how like SpongeBob didn't get some water in that one episode, he looks super dry. That's what I think about that happens to the land of whenever there's a wildfire. That's what I think of. But still, if you're planning a gender reveal, don't be doing all that. Don't be doing all that. Like, happy you're having a child, but don't be doing all that extra shit. And especially if y'all doing it for social media, because the clicks and the likes and the views doesn't help out with the consequences. Now, let's delve into pop culture and everything that's been happening. First things first is when it comes to New York, New York is making a comeback. We know that Jay-Z popped out on stage. The locks is gone. Jay-Z got a fro. I said, well, damn, not me and Jay got the same fro. I might have to start using some sacred. Because Beyonce, you might have to make me put down these Dominican products. Like, oh my God. And I'm a silicone girl. When it comes to the hair, I love me some silicone. I love me some silicone, but I might have to go get me some sacred now. I was gonna get some grow good, but Cardi, you might have to wait. I might have to go get some sacred because I don't know what Beyonce put in that product. I don't know what hoodoo you put in there, B. I don't know what kind of Louisiana hoodoo you put in there, but I'm gonna have to get me some of those sacred products now, just because of how big Jay's fro looks. But Jay-Z's making a comeback. We know that he has his 2 shows that are going to be happening at Yankee Stadium. I'm here for it. Happy to see his comeback. I'm happy to see the light that's bringing back to New York, even with the Knicks' win. I think that New York does deserve its good PR. I don't know what it is, but I can say for sure that since Zohran has won the mayoral election and him being mayor, and it's only been like what, a year or even like it's only been a couple months. It feels like it's been a year, but it's only been like a couple months, and all the amazing good things that are happening to New York. I know Eric Adams is fucking pissed, but hey, it is what it is. But I think now, I hope this inspires other young people or folks who have similar views as Zohran to run for office and really make a difference within their community. And I'm here for it. And I can't wait to see what else comes when it comes to being from New York. Now, I'll say this though, although Zohran is the mayor, a lot of people are now trying to move to New York, which sucks for New Yorkers in general because we know that we have a very competitive job market. We know we have a competitive housing market, regardless if you're purchasing or renting. So it's like to the point where some New Yorkers are leaving New York to go to other major cities to kind of like start over. And it's not saying that, hey, sometimes you might have to leave your city to start over somewhere else, right? If you have like a very good prominent position at a big New York firm or like a big company, you can go take yourself to like, I'm going to say like a Chicago or even like a Philly or like a secondary market and probably pop off with those skills and make tons of money. Cause I've seen that so too, where I'm comparing jobs that I had in New York compared to that. I said, oh, I could go here and negotiate the deal and get a bigger payout than staying out here. So it really depends on that. But still, I'm happy for New York. I think the thing that's sad about it is now everybody wants to experience a Zohran New York. But the funny thing about this, some people are still complaining about Zohran, but I'm like, y'all are the same ones that said y'all would leave New York when he won. And y'all are still in your rent-controlled apartments and complaining about him when he literally put on a law about halting rent for certain apartments for like what, 6 months or to a year. So you guys could not complain about Zohran. So shout out to Zohran for that. Also, in addition to that, I don't know if you guys saw recently, well, this has happened like 2 days ago, obviously because this episode comes out on Friday, but there was a couple that climbed the Empire State Building and they got all the way to the top to display a message about the importance of love and spreading love. And while they're climbing down, the guy proposed to obviously his partner, a woman, and it went super viral on the internet. Obviously, they got arrested. I guess they're saying that that couple's involved in a Netflix show and they're just natural daredevils where they climb buildings and do certain things for the adrenaline. I'm sorry. One thing for sure, I pass by the Empire State Building all the time. I've been inside because the TikTok offices is in there. I've been inside the TikTok offices. That building is super tall. And once you get to a certain floor, your ears will pop just because of like the latitude and everything and the pressure of like how up you are in the air. I would be fucking shitting my pants. Even watching it, I felt like I had to go take a shit when I was watching that fucking video of them climbing up that fucking ladder, that fucking building, because that scared the heck out of me. But it's the fact that, did you guys not work with like building officials about this? Because I feel like people don't realize is after 9/11, there's a lot of changes to certain situations. You're climbing the Empire State Building. That is like a landmark to New York. That's one of the many landmarks we have in New York City. Did you think you weren't going to get arrested or prosecuted for this? Because, hello, 9/11. I remember some people were telling me before 9/11 happened, you can go into an airport and go get you some food at like one of the airport restaurants and walk right out. There's security measures. They don't know what you're doing in that building. And also too is the Empire State Building holds plenty of offices. Like I said, TikTok has an office there. So we don't know what you're doing in those places. And you're putting people's lives at risk. And then you're also putting your own life at risk. I get it. It's for the adrenaline rush. But you could not in hell fucking know. And oh my God, if they were black, If they were black, oh girl, we're not even gonna go delve that way. But let's move on. Since I am still talking about all things New York, I'm just gonna cover everything revolving New York right now. I guess we call it New York news. The news of the subway, the MTA, the rats, the pizza, or whatever aligns with the city of New York. You know how Taylor Swift's like, welcome to New York. You can have it, welcome to New York. Okay, let's talk about Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are beginning the preparations for their wedding at Madison Square Garden. Still to this day, it does not make sense to me to get married at Madison Square Garden. If you are a prominent figure like a Taylor Swift that deems to say you want some privacy, hold on, Swifties, because I know y'all like to tussle. I'm not afraid of y'all. I had some Swifties once call me the N-word, and I said, bitch, Taylor don't even like you. Taylor don't even know who you are, trying to call me the N-word. I said, at least Beyonce might know who I am, because I met Kelly and I met her mom. So thank you. And Beyonce will know who I am. Now, when it comes to this whole situation with this whole wedding, it's still giving me PR stuff. I don't know. Something still is not sitting right with me when it comes to this relationship. It's not. And y'all are trying to force it on me. It's still something not sitting right. Out of all the places you could pick, you want to get married at Madison Square Garden? Is this wedding going to be displayed like the royal wedding that we've seen before? Is this going to be America's royal wedding? Because I'm not watching this shit. No shade, just being honest. I'm happy, Taylor, you found love. I'm happy for you, but I'm not watching this. And I get it for the fact that she said that she wants like the New York Knicks to attend her wedding. Sure, okay, I get it. You love New York, this and that. But out of all the places you're gonna get married at Madison Square Garden, I get it. They have very like large security measures, but you could have gotten married literally in the Hamptons. You could have gotten married in Montauk. You could have literally gotten married in Nyack. And I'm from fucking Rockland County. You could have gotten married anywhere in New York, but you picked Madison Square Garden. That's the thing that don't make sense to me. But you know what? It's not my business. I'm not going to judge. She got the budget. Do what you got to do. Since I did mention the Knicks, I've noticed that a lot of basketball players want to go to New York. And this is the thing, I just want to say this. And maybe because I'm a Celtics fan, but now I'm becoming a Phillies fan because Jaylen Brown is moving the Phillies. So we a 76ers fan now, okay? We a 76ers fan. Shout out to Philly. Shout out to Meek Mill. Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished. When I pulled up in that Aston Martin, y'all thought it was rented, honey. Okay? We're a Phillies fan right now, but still loyal to Boston. But it's the fact that a lot of these players want to go to New York because the New York Knicks won. But what guarantees you that they are going to win a championship next year? That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, oh my God, you pick and you choose. But you know what? Shout out to the Knicks. Shout out to the Knicks. We'll see what happens in the next season. But like I said, I'm loving this New York PR, but I need y'all to leave New York alone. I don't need y'all moving over here. Because it seems like a lot of us OG New Yorkers, regardless if you live in the suburbs or in the city, seems like a lot of us got to leave to go prosper. It's like we got to be like Nicki. We got to leave New York to go to Atlanta. I'm not going to Atlanta, but we got to go to like an Atlanta to pop off in that city and then come back to New York. I did mention basketball, but I am going to delve into like American football and then we are going to talk about Claressa Shields. So we're just going to call this a sports section. Oh my God. Wow, you guys. Look at this. The organization. You guys got to be proud of me. You see that 1 month off? You see that 1 month off? I took some time. The funny thing is with that 1 month off, I gathered in all the information and then I sent a list to some people that I trust when it comes to just overall news. You know, I call them the unofficial Words with Wista producers or talent booking agents or correspondents, just to figure out, hey, what else needs to be mentioned on here? You're a listener. You're very much delved in when it comes to pop culture. What else am I missing? You're tapped in. Let's figure it out. And I make sure each person I contact is from a certain generation. I got one from Gen X. I have a Zillennial, and then I got one that's from Gen Z. I make sure I get it together. Now, Tom Brady is doing typically what any player does when they're done with their field, you know, venturing out in the business world, but he's done plenty of time. Well, he has a coconut water brand called Good Nut. Good Nut. That's that right there. And you know, every single time I want to say coconut water, I want to say it like Trim, coconut water. I don't know why I want to say it like Trim, but Trim, you know what? We'll talk about Trim and the Barbs and Nicki Minaj next episode. We're not going to talk about it right now. But yes, I actually like Trim. I really hope she doesn't get her body done. I need the slim girls, stay slim, keep your natural body. You don't got to get your body done. But I know with the way the internet is in the industry, you guys are going to probably force that girl to get her body done. But back to what I was saying, Tom Brady has a coconut water brand called Good Nut. Now, my question is it going to taste good? Is it going to taste good? I'm not about to delve in the sexual aspect of the name just because that's not my business and y'all don't need to be in my business, but I hope it tastes good. I hope when you swallow it, it tastes good. But yeah, would you buy a coconut water brand called Good Nut? Do you like Good Nut? Do you enjoy Good Nut? Do you like slurping on Good Nut? Okay, let me keep moving on because my parents listen to this fucking show. They're like, oh my gosh. I know. They're probably like, Wista, you go on their podcast? You talking about Good Nut? What the fuck is Good Nut? Okay, so the World Cup is here. And I feel like the World Cup finally debunked some of the things that Europeans and people who are not from America experience certain things that we like or we have in this country, and they're like, oh snap, I could see why y'all are addicted, or I could see why you guys are big as fuck in this country. It's the fact that you got people from Norway and other countries smuggling ranch barbecue sauce back to Europe. Oh girl, let's be real, maybe you guys need to take some certain things from your ban list, because you know there's certain like flavorings and foods that they ban in the UK or even in Europe. I think y'all need to unban it. You know what? Maybe y'all do need some GMOs in the food. Maybe you guys need some GMOs in that food. Maybe that's what it is. But I will say this. I think with this World Cup, we're going to start seeing a lot of pregnancy announcements. I see a lot of you guys saying you guys going to use the World Cup to go meet some guys. And you guys know me, and I've always said this because I've noticed a lot of women are like, oh my God, the soccer players are so hot. Anybody who knows me, and I've said this on this podcast since I started it in 2016, when it comes to athletes that y'all want to entertain, I keep telling y'all got to entertain the soccer players, okay? The soccer players got money longer than some of your favorite basketball players. And I got a list of athletes I would entertain. It's a very short list because I got standards. And I said entertain. I would not take y'all seriously. I would just get the benefits and that's it. And I'm not going to be talking about the Zozo. So not right now. My parents listen to the show. But there's certain lists of athletes I would only entertain. And they on that list. I keep telling y'all, if y'all really want a good lick, a long-term lick, y'all need to get with the soccer players. That's what you need to do, especially if you are a girl that lives in America. Get you an international soccer player. Let's say he plays for like a French country or he plays for the UK. Pack your shit up, leave America, go be there, have that baby. You set for life. You got all the Nike products coming in and everything. Y'all don't be listening to me. Y'all want the NFL. Not for long. You think I want to deal with a nigga with CTE? Hey, you think I want to deal with CTE? Oh, no. And don't even get me started with basketball. He tear up his ACL. You screwed, girl. You screwed. Please. But people are using the World Cup as a way for them to meet a potential partner and everything like that. All I'm going to say is if you are going to gallivate and have fun with the festivities, because I see a lot of y'all partying with the Scottish, y'all are doing all these things, all I'm going to tell you is protect yourself. You don't want to end up having a baby or finding out you got a child with somebody that you hooked up with during the World Cup in the USA. Because I saw a video of the girls in Mexico making out with random guys. If you wake up with your lips looking like crispy bacon or you wake up with bumps on your lips, that is not my problem. That is not my problem. That's all it is. That's all I got to say. Let's keep it classy. Let's keep it cute. And I think y'all think I'm talking to the women. I'm talking about the men too. When I address y'all, when it comes to the aspect of protecting your bodies, I'm talking to everyone, okay? I'm talking to everyone who listens to this show. Because if you listen to this show, I know you got standards. And I respect that. But you know what? Some of y'all Wista gang members, y'all be telling me about y'all relationships and the shit y'all be tolerating. And I be pissed off and I be having to call y'all out. But we'll talk about that another time. Now, in addition to all that, we do have to talk about the racism going on amongst the fans and players. So I've talked about racism in football. I'm not talking about American football. I'm talking about soccer. I've talked about the racism that a lot of these players have to deal with, right? Especially the black players. We talked about Neymar and how he talked about when he was playing for a specific country, either the Premier League, I forgot what country it was, and how if they lost, the fans will do monkey signs and everything like that. And we're seeing that right now with the Netherlands, where the fans of the country, the Netherlands, are being so racist towards the black players because they lost. You can say the same thing even when it comes to like in basketball. And I talked about how the fact that if the Celtics lost a game, it was a problem. You'd be called the N-word. Or even when it came to the Boston Bruins and how the fans were super racist to PK Subban, although I got my whole situation with PK, but they were being racist as fuck to them. It's like, so why I got the energy for the black players, but you got no energy for the white players on that team? Like, what? This is why I keep telling you guys, when it comes to sports fandom, I pay attention to a lot of things, because really, you guys will take sports to the highest level, to the point where you guys will say the most racist, derogatory terms and just disgusting things, and don't realize that you're affecting that person who's playing that game. I get it. We're watching millionaires get on the stage and play and win the ranking, but keep exposing yourselves, because when you guys are openly about it, it just goes to show me that, hey, we can't fuck with you. And that's why we need to talk about the importance of mental health, not only when it comes to the aspect of like corporate America, but also in the sports world, because we see this too many times and it's not making any sense. And also too is, if we're actively hearing about a certain fan base always making racist comments towards their black players, or even their other players of colors, but I'm specifically talking about their black players because I've noticed that's what it is. Y'all will throw bananas at black players. You guys will make monkey noises and everything like that. That tells me enough about your fandom and who you are as a person. Because I'm thinking, let's say, for example, we know that I think Norway, and it's either Norway or another predominantly white country is supposed to be playing Brazil, and Brazil has always lost against that team every single fucking World Cup. Now my question is, I'm not putting it out there, if Brazil loses this match, are you guys going to be making monkey noises and doing certain things at Vinny? Because out of all the players in that Brazil team that you can identify, this motherfucker is black, that's Vinny. And he's the star of the freaking team. Are you guys going to do that? And another thing too is, I have to say this, and I gotta call out all my Latinos and Latinas, my other people, my hermanos, my hermanos. If you watching this World Cup, and I get it, a lot of the times when it comes to like Afro-Latinos, y'all don't like me talking about Afro-Latinos. But right now, it showed y'all that there are black people in these countries. Even in a country like Ecuador, they got black people there. You saw how many black men were on that team. So I want you guys to start claiming Afro-Latinos. I don't want y'all to claim that y'all Afro-Latino, because the ones who trying to claim Afro-Latino only do that when they get caught saying the N-word. But we're talking about the true ones. The ones that look like me. The Afro-Latinos like myself. So stop trying to erase us from history. Just saying that, because it goes to show you that there are black people in those countries. That's all I gotta say. But yes, all I'm gonna say is, when it comes to the World Cup, what I'm repping right now, I'm always gonna be repping Team Haiti. I do believe that some of those games are rigged, but you know what? It is what it is. I'm proud of the Haitian team. You did your thing. Let's try to do it again next year. In the next 4 years. All I'm gonna say is, with that game for Brazil, the reason why the Haitians lost, they were fanned out. They were freaking fanned out. I always say this, Haitians, when it comes to soccer, will represent Brazil, and there's a small portion that love Argentina, which is crazy. I think y'all are sick in the brain if you are black and you support the team Argentina. I just think you're sick in the brain. But they were too fanned out. They were playing against Brazil. They grew up watching Brazil. So the goalie was just too fanned out. He was like, oh my God, we're playing against my favorite team. So I get it. He was a little fanned out. But still, iconic moment. I will always say this, Haiti and Brazil has very high, like, good relations with one another. So it was just another day of two countries that respect each other playing each other. Now, the countries I'm representing right now, since Haiti's not in the freaking World Cup, obviously Brazil, obviously France, you know, I gotta rep, although they colonized, I still gotta rep Mbappe and all the other fucks on that freaking team. Team USA, because Team USA got a good amount of black men on there. So any team that got black people on it, I'm going to represent for it. But, these are my top 3 teams. But USA, y'all better make me proud. Y'all got a good chunk of black people on that team. If y'all don't make it to the top, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be pissed right now because I noticed they're rigging the games a lot for you guys and letting y'all get some of these easy ass teams. One thing I just want to say too is that Norwegian team with that one leader that some of y'all are trying to say he's fine. He is not attractive. I have to say it. He is not attractive. Go look up the head of the Norwegian soccer team. He is not attractive. This is why I always say, like, the media, y'all be trying to force certain men on us from certain races. And I'm like, this is what y'all giving us? I know they got somebody from another freaking European country that look close like a Chris Evans. Y'all could be pushing as the finest dude. But him? I don't care if he got a blonde ponytail. Ugh. Oh, that's all I could say. That's all I could say because I've noticed when the biracial Nigerian goalkeeper that's not even in the World Cup got his moment, y'all try to bring this Norwegian dude. He not even cute. He kind of looked like the white version of Maui from Moana. Just a little bit more stockier and face a little bit harder. Not cute. I'm sorry. Let me move on because y'all already like, Wista, shut up. It's already an hour and 5 minutes into this fucking episode and I'm still not over these damn topics. But let's shift on to boxing, sports news, and then we're going to end the episode with some music reviews and a little bit of like pop culture updates. But we know that the BET Awards happened. Drewski hosted the BET Awards. I definitely will say this BET Awards was definitely entertaining for me personally. But hey, some of y'all say every year that the BET Awards is not entertaining. I don't know. I'm still here for it. I think Drewski's bringing it back to the skits and what we've seen in award shows like the VMAs or even previously on the BET Awards. So I'm here for it. I know some people are mad because he did the whole pastor skit and you guys were like, oh, he's being blasphemous. Oh, shut up. Christians, y'all do this shit all the fucking time. Shut up. You guys are like, he's being blasphemous. I just want to say this. When it comes to Christianity and spirituality, we do a lot of things that are similar. Just like in the Catholic Church, where you go in front of the statue of Mary and you give an offering, right? You might give a rosary. You might give some coins. You do the same thing when you honor your ancestors or when you honor a deity. So I still want you guys to stop being hypocritical and thinking about, oh, yeah, it's not the same thing. Prayer, when you're praying for something, you're asking God something, that's still manifestation. Prayer is manifestation. Just like you want to manifest something, you're speaking to your guides, your spirit guides, your ancestors. That's still manifestation. Just saying. But for you guys to say that what he's doing is blasphemous, no, it's a freaking skit. If he was doing a skit for another religion, you guys would be laughing at it. Stop it. Just stop it. Y'all are so hypocritical. And I could keep going deep diving on that. But Claressa Shields had announced when she was at the BET Awards that she wants to have a baby with Papoose in 2027. Claressa, you and Papoose have been together for a bit. Okay, I'll give you props for that. But has he divorced Remy Ma? Has he signed the papers yet? Like, girl, you are a legend. You are going to be in history books. You are the first Black woman, the first American woman to win a gold medal in boxing, bitch. What the fuck is going on with you? Why? Like, and this is when it's like, girl, I get it. You're about your man, but please keep that to yourself. You see, you giving the Pisces a bad rep for their name. And I don't want no issues with Claressa because her hands are basically registered weapons. But Claressa, I just want you to slow it down a bit. Slow it down a bit. I get it, you want to start a family, but I don't know. It might not be Papoose. There might be somebody else in the shadows that you're really supposed to be having this family with. That's it. But I just need you to let the bird activities. Let's tone it down a bit. You are a legend. You are going to be in books. The only thing that I could think that Papoose will be in a book for is a rhyming book for alphabetical slaughter. If he comes out with that book. But you are a fucking legend. Let's keep it legendary. But then again, too, you can't expect certain things out of people because you don't freaking know them. But this is just the standards I have for her. But hey, if she's going to have a baby in 2027, you might as well start now because I don't know what it is. Recently, I feel like months like June and July, everyone starts announcing their pregnancies. I'm like, okay, I guess these are the Valentine's Day babies. These are the Scorpios coming out soon. But hey, if you made an announcement about your pregnancy, congratulations to you. If you're getting married soon, congratulations. You fulfilled the milestone. And I love that for you. But also, too, is with those milestones, it does come with learning lessons, right? Just like anything. They're blessings, but they also do come with lessons. Now let's delve into like more about the BET Awards, and then also a little bit about the music industry and a little bit of pop culture, and then we'll end it right here. So I did mention the BET Awards and the fact that certain people were mad about like certain people winning awards. Like somebody was mad because Kendrick Lamar won an award. They're like, oh, it's typical. I just want to say this. When it comes to the BET Awards, I don't know if fans still vote, but if you're not politicking and putting your shit out there to win that award, I don't know what to tell you, especially if fans get to vote. If you have an award show where fans are the one who gets to choose who win, and I think at a certain point VMAs was like that, then your fans didn't go hard enough. Don't be mad that Kendrick and his fans were harder than you. It's okay. It is okay. But we did get some exclusive boots on the ground journalism from a Words with Wista correspondent. So we know that, yes, it was the BET Awards, but also when it's like BET Awards weekend or Grammys week, there are a lot of networking opportunities. You have artist showcase. So one of our lovely correspondents who lives in Los Angeles actually attended an event, and guess who was there? The baddies, Miss DTB, Diamond the Body, was at this event. And I can say, we're going to give this correspondent some props because that environment, she was telling me it was a hot fucking mess. But she got the tea and the information. And all I could say is, when it comes to Diamond, the music is but you know, the antics are still there. I could see why she's some of your favorite baddie. But then also, there were some other artists on there that did have some bars and did their thing. So, you know, shout out to that correspondent. We'll be having more information when it comes to these other events, when it comes to these award weeks, if they happen in Los Angeles. But I just want to let you guys know, we do have correspondents that let us know what happens when it comes to these shows. But yes, the baddies definitely had their little moment. But I love the fact that this does give up-and-coming artists or even underground artists the opportunity to really flex their skills and also build. I feel like when it comes to the industry right now, there's no money in music. There is no money in music. And I don't care what anybody tells me, but you're like, oh yeah, there's not. The real money's in the business side, or if you're in the labels, right? The real money is that. That's why when you ever hear artists like, oh yeah, I got my advance, your advance is the money you make. But the thing is, when it comes to advance, where you guys fuck it up is you use the advance to buy jewelry and everything like that, but you don't use the advance to go build the business. I get it, buying your mom a car and a house, that's totally fine. Mom needs a place to stay. Family needs a place to stay. But buying chains for your homeboys? What? Buying shit for your friends? No. Go start a business. So then when the album comes out and the label gets their money back and more, you have something to solidify something for you. Right? Because we hear a lot of the times that where the artists make their true money is with brand deals, partnerships, and touring. If you're not touring, what are you going to fucking do? This is why I always emphasize the importance of, when it comes to artistry, some people might need a label and some it's best to go independent. You have to really figure out where do you fit in that spectrum. And everything has its pros and cons when it comes to it. You just have to think about which one is going to work best for you, and realize too is the pros and cons can switch around, where a pro can end up becoming a con in the future. And you just have to figure that out yourself. But there is no money in music like that. It's really not. And even Cardi had mentioned that celebrities and influencers are fighting for brand deals with one another. So think about that as too. Since we are talking about the music industry, I don't know if you guys know, Lizzo just came out with a new album. It's called Bitch. And it sold less than 3,000 copies the first week. And people are trying to figure out, was it the fact that there's like a perceived betrayal from her fan base? or the lack of label support, right? And I keep saying this, especially with the label she signed to. She signed to the same label as Cardi B. I think that label specifically has had major changes to the point where they're like, okay, we're going to take a halt of putting money in your pockets, but you guys need to focus on making some more albums and generating some funds for us, because that's how a label works, right? Think of the label like a bank. Okay, you guys are taking this loan. What are we about to do with this? Sometimes they might put a halt on you because they have upcoming talent that's starting to get attention, and this might be a priority in the roster, right? I think they're both signed to Atlantic. Guess who signed to Atlantic? I think Bruno Mars is signed to Atlantic. There's some other artists that are signed to Atlantic. I'm not going to say Dua Lipa because she signed with Warner. But if you tell me, okay, do I prioritize a Lizzo album or a Bruno Mars album? You're probably going to prioritize a Bruno Mars album just because of the longevity, but then also the big fan base and the fact that a lot of his songs are still being played. Like, what's it, 24/7 Magic in the Air? That song is still fucking played to this day. But then again, too, they're saying that Lizzo really got her big break with radio play. I think the thing is, sometimes artists hit that rut where, I don't know, is this the second album that she came out with or the third? Sometimes you hit that sophomore year or that junior year rut. How do you overcome that, right? Because Beyonce even went through a certain situation like that too, where an album was like, okay, and we like it, but this isn't the best album you had, right? Some people might say their least favorite Beyonce album might have been like the Sasha Fierce era or even this era, right? So everyone's going to have that moment where it's like, okay, this did good, but let's try to shoot it up. But also too is when it comes to music, we are at the point where we're not in an album era. People who really can get away with an album are like the Beyoncés, the Kendricks, but like we kind of are in a TikTok era. And I can say with Lizzo, she is so multifaceted, and it sucks the fact that if you can put your hands in many pockets, and I'm even talking the corporate field too, as somebody who can be in various industries, if you are in various genres, and specifically you can do this and put it all in one album, that will confuse people. It's sad that's what it is, right? Where you have an album, you have a rap song, a rock song, this and that. People are just so one-dimensional. If you are like 3-dimensional, 5-dimensional, people can't focus on that. That's why I could see why Beyonce would be like, okay, I'm going to do this one album and it's just going to be with like dance music. The next album is just going to be like that. It makes sense because people can like sip through it easier rather than it being all over the place. But I do think this is just like the little sophomore, junior year rut. She'll get through it. She has a good, prosperous fan base. But the thing too is, it's like, know your fan base and kind of like delve into that. And I think the thing too is, what I think Lizzo needs to do, and I think she just needs to take a break from music in that aspect and enter into Broadway. Go do what Megan's doing. Go enter into Broadway, get a Tony, and then right then and there, that attention's right there, and then it'll shoot right back up. Because I can see Lizzo doing Broadway and winning a Tony. And moving on to more albums, these are the last two albums I want to talk about. Drake came out with like multiple albums, but I'm specifically going to comment on where it has like the Caribbean-based sound. Drake, Aubrey, I know you grew up in Toronto. I know you grew up around the Jamaicans, but I just want to say this. The only time I could really listen to you with a Caribbean beat is if Popcorn or another Jamaican artist is on there. Because that one song you got with Popcorn, Shape Nice, I don't even listen to Popcorn's part, okay? It be had me want to bust the wine. I don't even listen to Popcorn's part. You guys know how I am when it comes to Drake and a Caribbean song. I just listen to the Caribbean artist in the song and I click through it. And then I could be like, well, Wista, when Megan did a song with Popcorn, you listened through the whole thing. I did. But only part I didn't like is when Megan said, you got to eat me out like an oxtail. Why oxtail, Megan? I was just like, why an oxtail? Megan, you could have said you could eat me out like some bun and cheese or something like that. I know somebody like bun and cheese was stuff, really? But when it comes to specifically Aubrey, Drake, when it comes to these Caribbean beats, I'm happy you're using like the Jamaican dancehall sound, because the day I hear Drake on a compa beat with a Haitian artist, I'm throwing my laptop on the floor. I'm throwing, like, please. And I see too many Haitians, because Pascal could see it up sometimes. Oh yeah, we need a cosign. If I were to pick a cosign from an American artist for Haitian music, I would prefer an artist that has like ties to Louisiana or speaks some Louisiana Creole. So I'm going to say a Beyonce. That's what I'm going to say. So she can get on there, speak a little Creole, and bring in that Louisiana Creole. So the cultural relevancy with amongst each other. An artist from a Francophone sector within the Black American diaspora. Okay? Thank you. No, I don't want to hear Aubrey saying, Cherie, Cherie, ma douce, ma pa, ba guy, ma fel feather, do. No, I don't want to hear that. Because I saw how crazy our Haitian women went where Burna Boy, when he spoke the little Creole, I was like, y'all, And I see y'all trying to be some pick-me's for Burna Boy. And look at that. Burna Boy, Haitian girls, my Haitian girls. Burna Boy, they did Stefan Dunn, Jamaican. Chloe Bailey, Black American. The Nigerian artist, Nigerian. He did a whole song with Dwet File. He didn't want to deal with none of y'all. Oh, Haitian women. What the heck? Vodou apat marche bien. Y'all didn't do the spell strong enough. But still, I do not want to hear Drake on a song with Dwet File. And I just want to bring this up too, since I am talking about Dwet File. Dwet File is the biggest Haitian French artist out right now. It's to the point where, especially when it comes to France, some French people say that Haitian culture is irrelevant in France, but it doesn't seem like it's irrelevant to me because I'm seeing all these French African artists hopping on compa beats. You got Fally Upa doing a freaking song with Dwet File, doing a compa song with him. You got Daju doing a freaking compa song too. So it doesn't seem like it's irrelevant in the country because you guys talk about Congolese culture in there and Malian culture, but it seems like the Haitians are starting to do a takeover in France. Just say y'all mad about 1804. But Joey has definitely been putting out a lot of albums, and I can say with this album, it's called Hate Love. He has a song called Rihanna, which is doing a lot of good numbers in the TikTok streets, but also in the French market and a little bit in the American market, depending on where you live in the US. And all that I just need is Rihanna to hear that song and dance to it, and that shit's gonna go viral. Just like how Madonna danced to Cat Company, it means 4 pumps. I'll talk about that another time. That's what it means, 4 pumps. You know what I'm talking about when I mean 4 pumps. But Madonna danced with that with her boyfriend, who is Caribbean, he's Jamaican, and we saw how much that boosted up the streams, and we know that Cat Company, he did the same freaking, oh my god, my brain is like fried, you guys, because it's been an hour and 21 minutes, but he did a collaboration with Burna Boy, so we know with that, so there's a lot of prevalency. And remember how I said this, and I said this a couple years, and I've been saying this a couple years for now, the big Haitian superstar to really put that in the map would either be a Haitian American or a Haitian French artist. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, Jason Derulo. No, Jason Derulo, I haven't heard Jason Derulo really make a song in Creole and make it sound good. I feel like Jason Derulo fits for a specific market, and that's fine. I'm not really a fan of his music, but hey, I'm always going to give you your props. But I'm talking about the person to really be on that map, similar to Wyclef. I'd say right now, it seems like it's going to be a Dwet File. Although Joey, I don't know who is your stylist. And you one of those men. I don't know about y'all Haitian men with hips. Because some of y'all got some hips. And it's like, dang, we both fighting who got who more hippie than the other one. But I need your styles to stop giving you them crop jackets. Because this is why we keep clowning you and saying you looking like Saucy Santana. And the fact that I could tell you let that internet shit get to you. Because we was talking about your teeth and you went and got some veneers. So now, Joey, Sherry, bonjour. Revoke the stylist. Fire the stylist. Revoke it. Fire them. Get a new stylist. I know you got the budget. Colin Carter, somebody. Get somebody on the line to dress you up better. Please. Please, please, please. Now, let's try to speed through this. So, Nara Smith has revealed that her 2-year-old daughter has been diagnosed with cancer. I think that's something that you should be talking about, for the fact that we're talking about cancer and the fact that younger people are getting it. We do know about like childhood cancer. It's going to be interesting to see how like this plays out when it comes to content. I really hope she doesn't like do this whole content wise where she's going to document everything with her child and everything like that. But I just want to see what comes with that. But I respect the fact that she did open up about that, just because I've noticed when it comes to her relevancy, it's been a while since we heard about Nara Smith. But her opening up about it and everything, I respect for her opening up and wishing the best for her daughter. And praying that she has a speedy recovery and that the cancer goes away and everything like that. Now, let's talk about Chloe Bailey. So Chloe Bailey went on the Call Her Daddy podcast and basically said that she found out that one of her exes was cheating on her, but she kept it quiet until the next morning because she wanted her night of cuddles. One thing I'm going to say this is, out of all the podcasts you go say this is on the Call Me Daddy podcast, what is up with black women going on the Call Me Daddy podcast and spilling all their tea like this, but then you go to Jennifer Hudson show or all these other shows, these black shows, and you're not giving us this information? I would prefer you sitting with Mona from Don't Call Me White Girl. Shoot, I would prefer you sitting with Joe Budden saying this, and Joe could have told you a couple things and give you some man logic, but you go sit with Call Me Daddy. I would have preferred you go sit with Keke Palmer, but you know what? It is what it is. Because even when I think about the Michelle Obama interview as well too with Call Me Daddy, I'm just like, you know what? It is what it is. This is what you think. When it comes to the boyfriend that Chloe Bailey's talking about, it could be Gunna or it could be Burna Boy. I don't know. She was with Gunna when he was a little thick, so I'm going to say it might be Gunna, but then again, too, they both look like they cheat. They both look like they cheat. I'm sorry. They both look like they cheat. But whoever is picking the talent booking relations or media relations for Chloe Bailey, I don't know. I don't know why you guys would pick this show for her. I feel like there needs to be, she should have gone on the Joe Budden podcast to talk about her work with Timbaland as well and discuss those things. I get it. Joe Budden has his moments where he can be a little problematic, but really, if you wanted to cover that, but then also talk about the music, which I'm pretty sure she's going to talk about that in her music, I would have went more on a music-based kind of podcast rather than this. I get it, you're doing it for the girls, but there are plenty of other shows you could have done for the girls. You could have gone on Words with Wista, and we could have talked about this too. We could talk about the music as well too. But you know what? We're putting that out there. But I wish the best for Chloe Bailey. But then again too, it goes to show you, hey man, certain people tolerate certain things just to say they're in a relationship or just to feel that feeling of being loved and adorned. And I'm gonna keep telling you guys, know your standards. But who do you think Chloe was talking about when it came to the person that she thinks that was cheating on her? Let me know. And what are your thoughts on black women going on podcasts like Call Me Daddy and spilling this type of information and getting this deep dive information when we know that their specific fan base is going to be saying some ruthless, crazy things about them, rather than going on a platform like a Don't Call Me White Girl or even a Joe Budden podcast or even a smaller podcast like Words with Wista, where it could be a safe space and having those discussions? What are your thoughts? Now, the last topic is Love Island. One thing you know about me, I am a reality TV connoisseur. Am I watching this season of Love Island? No, I'm not watching it. I feel like Love Island hit its peak with Olandria's season, and now it's going down the drain for me personally. After you guys had a producer pass away on set, I'm good. Everyone in these parasocial relationships. I just want to say this. This is a dating show. I fully understand that. And I can see why it becomes parasocial, because guess what? You're watching a dating show and you're seeing how certain people move in the aspect of modern dating, but then it's making you think of your standards. Now, I'm going to keep saying this. The way these people move on this show, guess what? I'm going to say it. You do not know these people. We do not know these people. Please stop it. But I could get it if you want a big come up and a big moment or a big fan base. It's gonna have to be a parasocial relationship. I already know y'all, some of y'all got parasocial relationships with me, but y'all still don't know me, bitch. You still don't know me. But when it comes to this whole situation with Love Island, I do want to bring up the fact that a lot of people were talking about Melanie and her situation when it comes to like self-esteem and everything like that, and they were trying to bring up the fact that because she used to be plus size, that's why she's like that. No, that's not it. Stop it. I hate when y'all try to do, oh well, that person used to be big, so that's why. No, it's not. Stop it. That's the first thing. Another thing too is it's really going to show you how it comes to like relations and relationships when it comes to modern dating. It really goes to show you it's all about your standards. I'm going to keep saying it. It's all about your standards and what you're willing to tolerate. It's going to be interesting to see how, like, when people get eliminated, how they're going to react and see how their social media is. Because think about Big Brother, and when somebody would say something or when they would come back from outside of the show and they would see all the crazy comments about them. But personally for me, I feel like Love Island's peak was the Serena season and Olandria season, and now it's down the drain. And you're talking about to somebody who watched Love Island season 1 with Asada and Eamon and how that played out. That's just simply what it is. But hey, guys, I'm done talking about Love Island because if I go down, we'll be on a 2-hour episode and I don't have time for that. I will talk to you guys next week. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening to Where's Wista. You can find this podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you find this podcast. So we got to follow it, write a review. Send me an email, constructive criticism. You can DM me at It's Wista, ITSWISTA. You can follow me on Substack at Words of Wista. You can follow me anywhere at Words of Wista. So I'm going to go now because I've been talking for an hour and 30 minutes, and I need to debrief because talking to yourself for that long can be a little hectic. But wish you guys the best. Just remember, happy July, and just know you have 5 months into this year. And we'll be in 2027 soon. So what do you want to accomplish for your goals for the next year? And I'm ready for it, you guys. Love you guys all. And yeah. What else I gotta say? Oh, also, this show's on YouTube. You guys can follow me on YouTube. Go subscribe and do something. God damn. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah.